Welcome to my channel where every story hides a deeper truth. Some stories will inspire you, some will break your heart, and some will change the way you see people forever. So stay till the end because every detail matters.
My name is Sarah, and for most of my life, I believed there was one painful truth I could never escape. My mom always chose my sister. Growing up, my younger sister Emma seemed to be the center of everything. When she won a school competition, Mom celebrated for days. When I won something, she would smile and simply say, "Good job." It wasn't that she was cruel. It was the small things, the little moments that slowly convinced me I wasn't as important. At family dinners, Emma's stories got everyone's attention. Mine were often interrupted. On birthdays, Emma received the gifts she dreamed about. I usually received something practical. As the years passed, the feeling grew stronger. I stopped competing for attention, stopped sharing my achievements, stopped expecting much at all. Deep inside, I carried a quiet sadness that nobody noticed. One evening, when I was 17, I overheard my mom talking to a neighbor. "She worries too much about Emma," the neighbor said. My mom sighed. "I have to." That was all I heard before I walked away. But those three words stayed in my mind for years. I have to. To me, it sounded like another confirmation that Emma mattered more. After high school, I left for college in another city. For the first time, I was away from home, away from comparisons, away from disappointment. And slowly, I started building my own life. I worked hard, made new friends, learned to believe in myself. But every time I returned home, the old feelings came back. Nothing seemed to change. Mom still called Emma more often, still worried about Emma's problems, still rushed to help her whenever she needed something. Meanwhile, I handled everything on my own. At least that's what I thought. Years later, I received a phone call that changed everything. Mom had been taken to the hospital. I immediately drove home. When I arrived, Emma was already there, crying in the waiting room. For the first time in my life, she looked completely lost. Not confident, not strong, just scared. The doctors said Mom would recover, but she needed rest. That night, while organizing some of Mom's belongings, I found an old notebook. It wasn't a diary. It was more like a collection of thoughts. I wasn't planning to read it, but then I noticed my name. Curious, I opened it, and what I found made my hands shake. Page after page contained notes about me. Sarah handled her first day of school so bravely. Sarah never gives up when things are difficult. I'm proud of the woman she's becoming. Tears filled my eyes. I kept reading. Then I found an entry written many years earlier. It said, "Sarah thinks I love Emma more. One day I hope she understands the truth. Emma struggles with things people don't see. She needs more help. Sarah is stronger than she realizes." Every time I focus on Emma, I worry Sarah feels forgotten. But I trust Sarah. She can stand on her own feet. I read those words again and again. For years I had mistaken attention for love. I thought helping one child more meant loving the other less. But love doesn't always look equal from the outside. Sometimes people need different things. The next morning, when Mom woke up, I sat beside her bed. There was a long silence. Then I asked softly, "Did you ever think I felt left out?" Her eyes immediately filled with tears. "All the time," she whispered. "Then why didn't you tell me?" She reached for my hand. "Because I thought one day you'd understand. Emma needed protection. You needed trust. I never loved you less, Sarah. Not for a single day." At that moment, years of resentment began to fade. Not instantly, not magically, but enough for me to finally see things differently. That experience taught me something important. We often judge love by how visible it is, by how much attention someone receives, by how many phone calls, gifts, or favors they get. But real love isn't always measured that way. Sometimes the strongest form of love is believing someone is capable enough to face life on their own. Today, my relationship with my mom is stronger than ever. And whenever I think about those painful years, I remember one lesson. What looks like favoritism is not always favoritism. Sometimes the people who seem to receive less attention are actually receiving something just as valuable. Trust, confidence, and belief in who they can become. And sometimes, understanding that truth can heal wounds you've carried for years.
Every story leaves behind a lesson. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next story.